Welcome back to the Archive Network. Aurelius here with Malik, curators of the Civilization Archive. We left Inca civilization last time, and as the golden age of the Incas flourished, tensions began to rise. Today we pick up where we left off. The Inca Empire at its peak was a marvel of organization, artistry, and ambition. Stretching from the snow-capped peaks of Ecuador to the arid deserts of Chile, Tawantinsuyu, the land of the four quarters, unified diverse peoples. Cusco, its capital, was a city of stunning grandeur. The Coricancha, or Temple of the Sun, dazzled all with its gleaming gold. This was a civilization that knew how to impress.
Aurelius, while grandeur is important, it's the people who give life to that splendor. The Incas combined various cultures, but the real story is in Cusco's streets. The vibrancy of life, the scents from temple altars, and the sounds of festivals tell us something deeper. Those experiences shaped the identity of the empire, not just its architecture.
You're right about the vibrancy. Life in Cusco was a tapestry of sensory experiences. The aroma of burning copal resin wafted through the air, mingling with the clang of bells and the rhythmic pulse of drums during festivals. Markets were a whirlwind of organized chaos, bursting with the colors of maize, potatoes, and coca leaves. We found ourselves in a hub of life, where every shade and flavor told a story, each moment a small celebration of existence.
But what of the ordinary citizens? Their lives were dictated by the MTA system. It wasn't just a labor system. It was a web of obligations that tied people to the state. They toiled for the empire, often without their voices being heard. That labor was the backbone of Inca society, yet it came at a cost.
The MTA system did shape daily existence in profound ways. Field workers toiled in the fields, cultivating essential crops like potatoes and maize. Meanwhile, women spun and wove textiles, creating intricate pieces that reflected their social status and skill. Archaeological evidence confirms just how vital these textiles were, even drawing admiration from the Spanish conquerors. But this raises a critical question. Did the system truly empower these individuals, or was it merely a tool that exploited their labor for the benefit of the elite?
Aurelius, it's clear the MTA system created a cycle of dependence rather than empowerment. The stored food and goods in Colca served the elite more than the workers. The aroma of roasted maize might fill the air, but it often masked the struggles of those who labored for it. This disparity is crucial to understanding the empire's dynamics.
You raise valid points, but let's consider the monumental architecture that defined Inca achievement. Take Machu Picchu, for instance. It wasn't just a royal estate. It could have been a religious retreat, too. The terraces and water channels showcase incredible engineering. This mastery of stonework points to a civilization that knew how to blend beauty with function. They didn't just build. They created lasting legacies that reflected their values and aspirations. That's what set them apart.
Aurelius, I really do admire the stonework. It's impressive, no doubt. But let's not overlook the human cost that came with it. Those grand achievements were built on the backs of ordinary people, often under duress. The labor that went into those terraces and temples was frequently coerced. So while we appreciate the architectural brilliance, we have to remember that it was rooted in sacrifice and exploitation, leaving a heavy burden on those who toiled away.
True. 1. The rituals and festivals, like Inti Raymi, played a critical role in unifying the empire. These events reinforced the power of the Sapa Inca, intertwining cosmic order with authority. The priests and musicians created a spectacle, yet the sacrifices made at Andean peaks remind us of the stakes involved. This is what empires do.
But we have to ask ourselves, who really gains from these grand spectacles? Sure, the rituals might bring people together, but they also solidify the power of the elite. That cosmic order you brought up often served to justify oppression. While the Sapa Inca basked in their splendor, the day-to-day lives of ordinary folks tell a much grimmer tale, one filled with struggle and sacrifice that often goes unnoticed.
That's a compelling perspective. The Incas' intellectual achievements truly flourished. They developed innovations like quipus for record-keeping. These intricate knotted cords encoded essential information, allowing for a complex administrative system. Their agricultural techniques, such as freeze-drying potatoes, were remarkably advanced for their time. This kind of ingenuity reflects a society that was not just surviving, but thriving, deeply engaged with its environment and adapting cleverly to the challenges they faced. Such advancements are crucial in understanding their legacy.
Yet these achievements were often overshadowed by the imperial demands placed on distant provinces. The findings of spondylus shells in highland sites illustrate their extensive trade. Diplomatic marriages and gifts were strategic, but when negotiation failed, the imperial army imposed its will. Underneath the surface, the empire was rife with unrest, a powder keg waiting to explode.
The Inca Empire stood unrivaled by the late 15th century, a true marvel of human achievement. But let's not forget, the very accomplishments that defined its golden age also hinted at underlying vulnerabilities. How they managed their vast realm, particularly amidst rising internal tensions, would ultimately shape their destiny. Sure, the Golden Age was magnificent, with impressive architecture and rich culture, but challenges were gathering on the horizon, ready to test the limits of their power and unity.
That's where we leave it this time. Inca civilization continues. The story isn't finished yet. Find the full series on the Civilization Archive, part of the Archive Network. We'll be back with the next chapter.